Welcome to another edition of Why Miss. This is a series that I've taken a break from for over a year because I'm working on another series and I don't want to take one and then keep on redoing it, even though they are two completely different, but they have a lot to do with death, tragedy, as I call it. And the first episode of that series I want to talk about is, in my opinion, one of the greatest frontmen to ever live is Layne Staley. Layne Staley, to me, is one of the greatest, songwriters and just all-around musicians ever. He's one of those guys that, and I've said I'm going to get into detail when I do the series I'm doing. This is more me acknowledging and just, you know, he's one of those people that when the frontman of your group, the lead singer, and they've done this good stuff, they've done this with the AC/DC, that's fine. But a lot of times when the lead singer, the lead vocalist of your group dies, you have no voice. There's no voice. That's why In Excess didn't last long with JD. And after Michael passes away, they did a nationwide search. It was a show, and JD won. JD's a good singer, but he's no Michael Hutchins. They've done it a few times, and you just can't match with the superior musician. The Doors, Jim Morrison dies. They recorded 2 albums without Morrison, with just the 3. No lead vocalists, just them as vocalists. Didn't last long. Nobody ever heard of those albums, except for me, I think. The only one, because I've always been into music. So that's a perfect example. It's just when, again, the lead singer of your band dies, there's no voice. And they did it. They did this for a while. They were a lot like that. They were a lot like the Doors. They didn't want to do this without Layne. They thought it would be too, they thought it would be disgusting, or they thought it would, out of respect. They wanted to be respectful. I gotta say one thing. William Duvall, I am sorry, you seem like a nice guy, but you are no Layne Staley. I know you're good. Like, I know you try, but and I'm not trying to be an arrogant, but I'm sorry, I am. You're not you're not good. The only time with bands like this, again with the exception of the Doors, was Nirvana. Kurt Cobain dies. David Grohl ends up doing Foo Fighters, and at least it was his own group. Everything else, and again, Go to the song Nutshell and just close your eyes. It is just it's so it's fantastic. It's a lot like um, Shannon from Blind Melon. It's just such a sad story. It's these guys so young and just so full of life, and then you know, but Layne's story within it's too depressing and sad to talk about. But the series I'm doing, I'm going to get more into detail with that. If he didn't pass away, I'm sure they'd be making lots and lots and lots of more stuff. I'm sure he would have done, like a Trent, like a Trent Reznor kind of thing, like compose, and he just seems like he would could have been that kind of guy. And just again, a very one of probably the most saddest, depressing stories I've ever heard about with Layne, and miss you, Layne.